Hi, I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to assemble this badger applique pattern. So this is one block in the Woodland Critters applique quilt pattern. That is a pattern that includes a whole bunch of different animals, but it's also available just on its own as the badger pattern. So you can get either one of those options at shinyhappyworld.com, and here's how to make him. All right, let's assemble this cute little badger. This is the video showing how to put them together if you do have a light box. And that means that you can, for the most part, ignore all the dotted lines on the paper side of your fabric. Those are all placement guides and you don't need them if you have the placement for the guide from the light box. But what you do need to transfer are the stitching lines. And in the badger, that is the smile, and if you want to use them, the eyelashes. And I'm going to do both of those for this badger. So I am going to flip it over so that I can see the paper. So here's the lines are on the paper side, and I want to let them show through the fabric side so that I can then transfer them. And I'm not sure if you can see, because this is a darker fabric, I'm not sure if you can see those lines showing through, but I can. And I'm just going to transfer them with a Sharpie, just a plain black Sharpie. This one is harder to see because I've got kind of similar lines here. There we go. That, and there it is. And then I'm also going to do the mouth, which is going to be much easier to see because that's white fabric. So it's okay that I'm using a permanent marker for this because I'm going to stitch over all of these lines with black thread on those black lines. So I'll never see those lines again. All right, so we're going to start with piece number 1 because when you are using the light box, the numbers tell you what piece is what, but they also tell you in what order you lay them down. So piece number 1, and then number 2 is one of his ears. The white outer part of his ear, I should clarify. Number 3 is the other side of his ear. And then 4 and 5 are the darker inner ears. Badgers have darker fur inside their ears. All right, and now 6 is this weird looking headpiece. And it looks like a really weird piece, but it's actually pretty easy to line up because all those whiskery bits give you lots of points to match. But I did shift some of these. So let me put them back where they go. There we go. And now we've got 7 and 8 are the darker patches on his eyes. And number 8. Oops. Goes on this side. All right, and now we've got his eyes. They are interchangeable, so it doesn't matter which one is which. Oh, somehow I've got 2 layers of fabric there. That's brilliant. There's one eye. And his other eye. And you can see those eyelashes are coming right out of the eyes there. And now 11 is his cute little nose. All right, I'm going to lift up the silicone mat, take it over to my ironing board, fuse all the pieces in place, let it cool, peel it all up, and then fuse it down to my background block, do all of the outline stitching, and then I'll bring it back here and show you the finished block and also show you a couple of other color options that I did. And here is the finished badger block. All of the outline stitching is done, and I added some catch lights to his eyes just with a little dot of white fabric paint in them. And there's a link in the pattern to a video showing how to do that. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about the fabrics for him. So this is the sample that I used in the quilt that you're seeing on the cover of the Woodland Critters applique pattern. And all of the blocks on that sample used avocado blenders for the background blocks, different shades of avocado. And it's a fabric collection that I have available on Spoonflower. And then all of the animals in that sample use blenders from the Animal Kingdom color palette, which are all realistic animal colors. I've got a different option that I wanted to show you. So this one also for the badger uses colors from the Animal Kingdom palette, so realistic badger color, but instead of that green background, I've given it a pastel orange. This is actually cantaloupe. This is from the Farmer's Market collection, and this is one of the blocks that's available with the quilting lines actually printed on the fabric, so you just follow along on the sewing machine. And I have one more total fantasy version. So this is a series that I'm working on, a collection that's going to be a quilt that where the background blocks, instead of the animals being from the Animal Kingdom palette, all of the background blocks are from the Animal Kingdom collection. So they'll all be realistic neutral colors. And then each of the animals in this quilt are using colors from the Farmer's Market, blenders from the Farmer's Market collection, and each animal is monochrome. So it's all different shades of one color. And for most of them, I'm using this gingham combined with this dot. I call this one spilled cereal, and this one is almost gingham. So for almost all of the ones in that quilt, I'm using just those two prints. So you can see that you don't need to have multiple shades of the same color to get a nice looking block. You can also even just use two shades, a dark and a light. So I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and this is the Badger pattern.